Hey guys, James here, back with another video, and today we've got a dual monitor arm, but the thing that's different about this one compared to the ones I've done on my channel is that it's stacking. It's a specific monitor arm meant for stacking two monitors on top of each other. Now this is from a brand called AVLT, and I found them on Amazon, just doing a little search, and this is the exact model, AVLT-DM35-1, and I got this from Amazon AU, shipped from the US, and I bought it for roughly 170 Australian dollars, and I have Prime, so I get free delivery. What we're going to do is we're going to do the basic kind of walkthrough unboxing. We'll then do the mounting. So I've got my U2417H as well as my new U2419H. We're going to do a monitor stack, and I'm going to show you how this sets up and the different heights and all that as much as I can. So it works with 17 to 32 inch monitors. Each arm supports up to 17.6 pounds. Now that is roughly 7.9 kilograms, if I'm correct. Stackable, fully monitor, full motion articulation, premium aluminum. It's Visa 75 and 100 compatible. Tension tips, so please turn through your gears 5 times to test whether the tension is enough to counterbalance the monitor and the weight and stuff like that. So that's all about optimization. 3-year warranty, but let's get into this unboxing. I'm excited. Let's see. All right. So first things first, you do get your instructions. Now I find with these dual monitor arms, definitely you want to read the instructions while you set this up. They are pretty simple, so just read it through. You're going to save yourself a lot of headache. So we'll put this to the side. Just, you know, support us and give us a thank you, shout out. Do you like the product? Essentially like that. We have our first monitor arm. Now these do come zip tied, and the reason that they're zip tied is because if without it there is a spring inside, right? So it's a gas spring. So essentially once you snip that off, it's gonna fly forward. So we'll leave that there for now. And then this is empty. What's here? It's probably the base. It's the other one. We have the monitor shaft. And then we have this stuff in a box of goodies. Okay. So this is all the stuff that you get in the box. You have your two gas spring monitor arms. You have your clamp, if you're going to clamp, it's the L bracket that you're going to clamp on the bottom. Now this is for if you're going to drill a hole or if you have a hole in your desk. That way you don't have to clamp it from the back. You can just drill a hole and mount it, and this is just the cover for that. Now this is stuff that I really love to see. It's monitor brackets. So essentially what you do is you screw this to the monitor itself, then you can just slide the monitor on. You don't have to worry about trying to hold it in an awkward position and try to screw it together. I love that. It's great for, you know, mounting it, but even when you want to make changes in the future, you want to quickly take the monitor off for whatever reason, swap out a new one, it's so much easier to do that. You have your shaft. You also have all the necessary screws that you need. Looks like they gave you 2 bags, essentially the same set. Now it looks like also you get some Allen wrenches. You get this cable management hook for the shaft. You have this as well. We'll find out later what that is. Screws and some rubber feet. I'm assuming it's for probably one of the mountings here. So that's pretty much it. Really simple what you get in the box, and hopefully when you set this up, it is going to be pretty simple to do. So we're going to start setting this up. We're going to follow our instructions, and we're going to follow step by step. First, what I like to do is I like to read through the whole thing, know what I'm going to be doing in the steps, and then actually doing it step by step. Okay, so first things first, I am going to be using the L clamp because I don't have any holes in my desk, and I'll just be mounting on this just for today, just so you can see, and then I'll also show you the final setup at the very, very end as well. All right, first step is you got to slide this thing through here. Okay, so once you've done that, next step is to mount these stickers. So you just want to roughly put them, so I'm going to put them on each corner. All right, so I'll show you. Now, depending on whether you're using this one or this one, yeah, you just have to put these on yourself. And really the reason you're doing this is just so that you're not scratching the surface of the desk, that there's at least some cushioning there happening. Okay, try my best. Hopefully that's enough. Then what you want to do is you want to screw this to the base. Okay, so before you screw this in, what you want to do is you want to make sure that you're using the Allen key. You want to make sure you unscrew this part as well as this screw so that you can tighten it all the way. All right, so you want to make sure that it's screwed out completely, just so that you can get this completely flush. Okay, so once that is completely flush, then you want to add the screws in like so. Okay, doing this just means you won't be able to twist it. And then finally, you want to put this on the cap like that. All right, so that completes the first part of the installation. Now you want to mount this just on your desk. So we're just going to keep it in the center. I'll just zoom out so you can see what I'm doing. Excuse my messy wires on the floor. Now, what we want to do now is follow these instructions. All right, so there is potential energy in this spring. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to make sure you have a firm grip. Then we want to slowly cut away this and then slowly release the tension like so. Okay, want to make sure that we do that. So best is to make sure that you compress it a little bit. See how I'm compressing it? Then we want to cut it. After that, with two hands, release the spring. There's not much energy to that, which is good. I found that some of them have a higher spring bounce back. So what we're going to do now is we're going to grab the first one. Now it doesn't really matter which one. All right, so what you want to do is you want to grab this screw bit. You want to loosen this. And then we can slide this like so on top. Okay, just be careful, the inner plastic might pop out when we do this. So we just keep sliding it to the place that we want. Let's just put here for now. And then we're just going to tighten it just a little bit. Okay, or alternatively, once you found the spot, then you can just really tighten it. Let's just do that for now. Then what we want to do is you want to slide this on top. This is our cable management thing, and then we slide this one on top. Forgot to loosen, so let's loosen this just a little bit. Slide this on top. Okay, here we go. Now we're gonna put this one pretty high, so let's just leave it like that, and then we're gonna screw this nice and tight. So you can see it's starting to take its shape. Next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna mount the brackets onto the monitors. So, to do that, I'm gonna grab this. Now, just to prevent the monitor from scratching, I'm just gonna grab this cover just for the screen. Now, as you can see, my monitor has actually come with screws, but I'm actually gonna use their screws that they recommend because it works better with their brackets. Now, the thing you wanna make sure, if you look at this top view, the monitor is going to slide like this, okay? So that stops it. If you put it the other way, you can't mount it. So essentially, the top of the monitor should be up here. So we want to put it just like this. Now, they are recommending that we use a washer. So we're going to use the ME washer. So in your bag, we get ME, and then we're going to put one on each side. And then we're also going to use the MA or MC screws. Now, for me, it looks like it's going to be MA. Now, the MA and MC are different thickness of screws. So just choose the one that's suitable for your monitor. If you're usually mounting like a TV, they usually have a bit thicker screws. So we'll see. Looks good. All right, so you want to make sure that when you're screwing, never screw it all the way. Just let it be loose a little bit because you want to make sure that it's perfectly aligned. And always try to do the diagonals. Okay. So that's done. Now what we're going to do, so we're going to put this one at the bottom. Now this is pretty simple process. All you have to do is line it up. Okay? So just like that. So what you want to do, I'm trying to give you a better view. You want to make sure that the teeth line up, like so. and then all you have to do is just slide it in. Right? The final step will be to screw that just to make sure it doesn't go off, but that's pretty much it. So we'll leave it there for now, and then we'll do our other monitor. And to mount this, again, simple process. Take the top, slide it on. There we go. Okay? All right, the next step, you want to grab this little screw, the one that came with it, thumb screw, and you just want to tighten that down to this. Now what you might need to do is push this just back a little bit, just so that the things can line up. So that's done. I'll do it for this one as well. So if I try to do this here, you see it might not line up, so just have to push this back a little bit more, and then now it's lined up, and then I can easily screw that in. So hope you can see that right here. That's the final step. Okay, so we've got our monitors mounted. Now we need to test the spring adjustment. This is actually not too bad. I'd say it's a little loose. So I'm just going to tighten it just ever so slightly. Oh, this way. Still a bit loose. That's better. And do the same as with this. So just to show you, I'm tightening this adjustment here. That's a bit better. So we want it to be easy, but not too easy to move. All right, and then we can also adjust the adjustment for the tilt, but that seems little too tight. I might just loosen that a little bit. Okay, that seems pretty good. Now, this is just a good guide about tension adjustment. So how do I know when to use plus or minus? When your monitor droops, please turn counterclockwise or plus to increase the tension. If your monitor goes up, means your monitor is too light. Turn counterclockwise to decrease the tension. So essentially it's how much bounce back are you getting. Next thing, cable management. So what we can do is we can slide these bottom ones out. So what we're going to do is we're going to mount the cables. So we have a display cable and HDMI cable. At the bottom of this, there is cable management loops. So let's mount this power first and then HDMI here. So we're going to mount this through this hole and do the same for HDMI. Now, obviously, the more cables you try to fit into this, the more cramped it's going to get. So I would say this is really only designed, in terms of the amount of space that they give you, it's only really designed for 2 cables. So then we also want to just grab this and then just slide the ends like over the top. Like so. That's a really easy, that's actually super easy to do. And that looks so clean. I'm really impressed with that cable management. But as I said, if you're trying to do anything more than 2 cables, it's probably not going to work. But that looks so clean. Like if you look at that against the white, that's a pretty clean cable management setup. We're going to do the other side. Now what I usually like to do is I usually like to put a cable tie here. I think that just helps bring up the cable just a little bit more. It's just using a standard Velcro cable tie. Then it just prevents it, you know, from sagging or drooping. Just for a more cleaner look, I like to do that. Then grabbing this again to clean this up. Now I noticed that, well, this part at least doesn't always stay clicked. This tends to be able to move. So I think be mindful of that. Then what we're going to do with this, we're going to clip these cables to the side. I think this is pretty cool, that you can actually have a spot for your Allen keys. That's a new thing, which I haven't seen before. That's pretty awesome, right? You can fit your Allen keys there. Then after that, you just, yeah, I guess you would just cable tie this part together. All right, so in theory, this is what it should look like. That is pretty clean. Pretty clean. All right, let's see if we can clean this back part up a bit. So we're just gonna grab a cable tie. I'm really pleased with that result. Like, this just looks so clean. Like, that's really nice. All right, I just wanted to give you guys a quick close-up shot of everything that's happening here. So here you can see this is that thumb screw that I was talking about that you need to align to mount the monitor to fix it to this position. So that's that. This is the Velcro cable tie just to make things a little bit more neater. Yeah, this is pretty much what it looks like. So I've also added one more Velcro cable tie at the bottom here, clean things up a little bit. This is the cable management slip that you can add, and then you can hold your Allen keys there. That's a nice invention. But yeah, that looks pretty clean. Very happy with this. And then this is what the bottom looks like. Now there's no cable management on this side of things, but I think that's okay. Here's your tension adjustment. You also have your tension adjustments over here for the tilt of the monitor. You have tension adjustment for the pan over here. And then this is the cable management raceway. This cable management at the bottom, there's these little kind of fins, and these really just help you to lift up the plastic to then slot in the cables. So that's a really nice feature as well. I really like that. Here's a wide shot. Now, to give you a rough idea how high things are, this is higher than me, but the max height that this can reach in terms of the tip of the VESA mount. So this can go max height of 70 centimeters. So to the middle of the VESA mount, that's the max height. Max height for this monitor, roughly 37 centimeters. Now, of course, there is variables. So this shaft is 48 centimeters tall from the base of the table. Now you can see where I've got my different points of mounting. You can move it higher, you can move it lower. It just depends on what your configuration is, like what size monitors. Do you have a larger one on the bottom? Do you have a larger one on the top? You know, that all depends. But this is the kind of configuration that I'm going to use. So I kind of give you a side profile. Now, just really quickly, I forgot to also mention that you can actually use this monitor side by side. You don't have to use it as a stacking monitor. So you can see on the picture from their website now that they do actually show this in a configuration where you can side by side, and you definitely can. You just have to make sure that you adjust the height of where the monitor arm is on the shaft. Then it allows you to use it as a side by side monitor. Now, whether you're able to actively configure it as to, you know, on top of each other and side by side, that's a bit harder to determine. I think it depends on your exact monitors, but just know that you can do it with this monitor arm. The reason I really like this one as opposed to the other stacking monitor arms available was because I wanted something that was really high. Reason is because, and you'll see in later, but my desk setup is actually I need a decent amount of space and clearance here, which means that this monitor, the top one, needs to be quite a bit higher. A lot of the monitors stands that I found, their shaft only goes up to about here, which just wasn't enough clearance that I needed. So this is pretty much the one that I think was really good, and I have no regrets about getting this. I really love it. I think it's yeah, great addition. I really enjoyed putting this one together. I think in terms of the arm, the way that you mount it, the cable management, the whole experience is probably the best experience I've had with any monitor arm I've ever used. And you do pay a little bit more. So the last one that I did, the review with the dual monitor arm, that was a cheaper model. But this one, you can actually tell where the quality is in, the cable management, the ease of mount for the brackets. So I can just screw the thing off and actually take it off. I don't have to like hold it while trying to unscrew it. So that's really handy. I think this is a great monitor arm if you're in for something, especially for dual stacking. In case you're wondering, U2417H, U2419H, they are 24-inch monitors. They are pretty light as well. So if you're thinking of doing heavier monitors, it does say in the specs that it can go up to 32 inches, but your mileage may vary. Best to just call up the company and check with them. Now I'm just going to quickly show you what this monitor arm setup looks like on my actual day-to-day desk setup. All right, so this is a quick sneak peek of my setup. Now, if you want to see a full setup video, if this video gets 400 likes, I'll definitely release a video. But we're here to talk about the dual monitor arm. So this is it. You can see why I needed to fit my phone and my stuff here. That's why it has to be a bit higher. But going around, you can see the little R2-D2 here. But this is how I've got it set up. So I've just got clamped to the desk. And then I've adjusted this so that the height works out. Got the cable management going as well. Everything goes under and then through the cable channel under my desk. But I think it's a really clean setup. It's exactly how I wanted it to be, and it turned out really, really, really well. So that's that. Again, if you want to see a full video of this setup, 400 likes, and smash that like button, and I'll definitely do it for you guys. Now that pretty much wraps up this video. I really hoped you enjoyed and really liked it. I hope it helped you to decide whether to purchase this for yourself or not. If you have any questions or any comments, leave them down below. I will try to answer as much as I can. I know you guys tend to ask, how high, how low things go. I tend to find it really hard to answer those kind of questions, so I hope the initial measurements that I gave you was a rough idea of the ballpark. It does also tell you the heights and the measurements on their Amazon website as well as the official website as well, so you can have a look at that. I would definitely highly recommend it. Links in the description below if you want to go ahead and use that to support the channel. Really appreciate it. If you have any comments or questions, leave them in the comment section below. I will try to answer all the questions I can, but there are some things which I won't be able to answer, but I'll try my best. But yeah, subscribe to see more videos like this in the future, and I will see you guys in the next one.